She's all right when you get to know her. This is my podcast, and it takes you from your restrictive, toxic, life-limiting 9 to 5 into a life on your terms, full of freedom and flexibility as a self-employed virtual assistant. So whether this is your first introduction into the possibility of becoming a VA, or perhaps you've been doing a bit of Googling already, I'm going to get rid of the overwhelm, rid of the self-doubt, and show you that this life is possible. I've not just started this rodeo, you know. I'm Catherine Gladwyn, and I've been doing what you think is impossible since 2015. Shall we get started? And I've got another guest on, and this time I'm joined by Kellie Simpson. Oh my God. 2016, is it, Kellie?
2018.
18. Should have asked that before I press record, really, shouldn't I? But
That's right.
and I had the absolute pleasure of being a very tiny part of Kellie's journey. And she messaged me on Instagram the other week and pitched, if you like, to see if she could come on as a guest for the podcast. And I think she put at the end something like, no worries if not, just thought I'd ask or something. And I was very professional about it, wasn't I, Kellie? I think I just jumped straight back within minutes and gone, oh my God, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was honoured.
Straight away. If opportunity, because we haven't spoken for ages.
No, we haven't. It's so nice to hear your voice.
Ah, and as the podcast goes on, you will find out, listeners, why we've not spoken for ages. Yeah, it's been a little bit busy for Kellie, and something I think I saw on Threads a few weeks ago, possibly, where somebody, just this random guy, put out a thread saying it's all very well looking at people's feedback straight after they've bought something, but what about 12 months later or 2 years later? And I thought, do you know what? That is a really good point, because I get some incredible reviews for the VA Starter Guide and my other courses, but most of those are written just after somebody's implemented everything and they're so excited about their journey. So I've been busy kind of like getting case studies from people that are 12 months, 2 years on or whatever. So when you messaged me at the most perfect time, Kellie, because right now I've got to do some maths. 2018 to, is it 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years this year.
So Kellie's been in business now as a VA for 7 years. And she actually taught me something, because I know that the listeners will be aware about my niching thing. You know, I always say niche to your services, because there are so many sectors that don't need what you're offering, or you limit yourself, you isolate yourself, and you put other people off. But there's two exceptions, and that's legal and medical. And Kellie Simpson is always the one that comes to my mind when I think of legal, and medical is Sam Brennan. But because those two areas are so specialised, and people that work in those areas, lawyers and what have you, they need somebody that understands. And Kellie came from that background. So I've been waffling on for 4.5 minutes already, Kellie. I'm going to have to edit that down, I think. But can you tell me what was your background before you came into the VA world?
So my background was legal. So when I left college in 2020, at the age of 18, when I left school, I went to college. I did a secretarial and administrative diploma for 2 years.
I'm just going to stop you there a minute, Kellie, because you were not 18 in 2020. So you're going to have to stop lying.
No, I was. I was. Then, God. So yeah, when I left college and I got my first job was in a law firm. So it's where I stayed. So my whole career, ever since I left college, has always been in legal. So it's just the perfect fit, really, for transitioning into the virtual assistant world. However, when I started, I did not niche in legal, because this was pre-COVID, and I kind of thought to myself, you know, law firms always have PAs in the office. They don't use virtual PAs. They're not going to really need my service. So initially I didn't specialise in legal. It took me 6 months to get my first client, which funnily enough was a legal consultant. So yeah, I was working for her. And then, as then COVID arrived, the legal side of my business just absolutely took off. So here I
because
am. It's
it was
like that.
COVID was such a brilliant time for a lot of
It
people, and
was,
such
yeah.
it was from one extreme to the other. It was a hugely traumatic time for so many, but in other cases, it was wonderful because it taught a lot of people that your business is adaptable. You don't have to be going the route that everybody's always gone. You know, that you don't need an employee. You can
Yeah.
have a virtual assistant, and business continues exactly as it was, if not better, because you're saving money. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it really did open up the world to sort of virtual working and cloud-based working and being able to work from home, work remotely. It's just changed so much, hasn't it, in life now? We've
Oh,
all just become more online as
Ab
a world.
yeah, and it really, I mean, I've been saying this for years, is that I virtual assistants need to break into the corporate world, and you've kind of done that. You are the success story for that. You have done that, and I think I think if solicitors can get on board with it, then other people can as well,
Oh,
because
100%.
so, just going back to niche again, it worked wonderfully for Kelly, and not just because of the pandemic. It's because of her knowledge and her expertise. And again, that's the same with medical. I've seen something today online where somebody is niching like to the craft sector, and that's because they know that sector themselves. They used to work there, but unfortunately, there's not much money to be made from making crafts, and unless you're a massive company.
Mm.
So people do need to go careful with their niching. And I just wanted to put that out there to begin with, but that Kelly is absolutely on the brilliant path with it, and
Yeah.
has done wonderfully. I mean, you're based in Devon now, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, in Devon. And again, had I not started I was in living in Bristol when I started my business, and as my business did well, we kind of looked at coming back to Devon because this is where I grew up. I moved away from Devon initially because the wages down here are not the best. Moving up to the city, obviously, the wages do go up. So, had it not been for me having my VA business, I just don't think we would have ever been able to come back because I wouldn't have wanted to take a pay cut. So, my hourly rate is my hourly rate wherever I go. So I can, yeah, work from home in Devon. And it's meant my husband's moved back here with me and life is here now. And I love it. It's great.
Because I think it was before the pandemic, or possibly during. You've actually renovated a whole house, haven't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we bought our house. It's an old farmhouse in 2020, which was the COVID year. So 5 years this year because we're just coming up from remortgage. So
Oh.
yeah, we did. So yeah, I was working amongst like scaffolding and builders and all sorts with my laptop. And yeah, I kind of look back at that time and think, how did I do it? But I did it. So here we are. I'm in my lovely new office now, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, I love that because, I mean, we're living in a house now that I would never have been able to afford without my VA business.
Oh yeah,
And
same.
and it's happened for so many people. But still some people struggle. What do you think is the difference? What would you say to people that aren't yet where they want to be financially? What do they need to change usually, do you think?
I think a lot of it is mindset because, you can often think, oh, I haven't got any clients. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. Just be really negative about it and give up at the first hurdle. I shed many tears in my early days when I started up. As I said, it took me 6 months. I cried a lot. I just didn't think I was ever going to be able to do it. But you've just got to keep that goal in mind, that why. Why are you setting up your virtual assistant business? What are those goals? You might want to buy a new house or buy a new car or, we all do those vision boards of what we want. And I knew I wanted to make it a success. I knew I didn't want to go back to employment. So I just kept on, I went out to networking events and it's all about getting yourself noticed, isn't it?
Mm.
People aren't going to know who you are and what you're doing if you're sat in the background, not, posting on LinkedIn and all those sort of things. And that's what I did. I just got myself out there. I went to networking events. I started building my network, engaging on LinkedIn, making friends, making, acquaintances in the legal world and building relationships and taking opportunities when they come along. I did a speaking event, which absolutely terrified the life out of me, but I knew I had to do it. That was with Clio. And look at me now, I'm a Clio partner and I know all the Clio people. And if I hadn't done that event, I might not be where I am. And it's just things like that. You've just got to
Yeah.
take every opportunity when it comes.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Clio is a legal piece of software, is it?
That's correct. Yeah, it's like a legal CRM system where law firms, add clients and add their matters. They bill time, do their invoicing, onboard clients, upload documents, that kind of thing.
Oh, brilliant. The,
Yeah.
um, where you say about putting yourself out there, I know you didn't find that easy, but there was this transformation with you that it was almost like like you say, the mindset, you felt that, "Yeah, I do wanna do this, but I don't think it's gonna happen." And then it was like, "Do you know what? I'm gonna make this bloody well happen." And
Yeah.
your
That's
social
it.
media, you were doing videos of you, like, training and the house renovation, and all of that allowed people to get to know you and to relate
Yeah.
to you. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it really the mindset thing is huge, isn't it? It's like you say, if I wanted I've got loads of clothes in my wardrobe that I don't wear, and I could do with selling them on Vinted, but I'm not gonna sell sell them unless I take pictures of them and put them out there, 'cause nobody knows they're for sale at the moment, and
Yeah,
it's
that's it.
you've almost got to look at yourself as like a pair of jogging bottoms that you're never gonna wear again. You've got to tell people that they're there, that you've got to put it out there, and the people that we're trying to attract have also had to do that and learn that. So nobody's judging you.
No, God, we've all had to do it. And I think as well, it's just finding that little community of people and, talking about when we were kind of first getting to know each other. And I was obviously your associate back in the day. And
Yeah.
I was in your first VA Facebook group. I can't remember what it was called at the time. That's where Sam Brennan, you mentioned, the medical expert. I met her in there and we've like sent work to each other and things. And,
Oh.
we've built, it's just building those acquaintances and connections because you say I'm the first person that you think of a legal VA, and I've got people that I think, oh yeah, that's that person for this, and that person's a MailChimp expert, and it's only because they're always putting themselves out there and putting content out there and
Yeah.
talking about what they do that you then stick in their mind. So you've just got to keep talking about legal things, and people start to get to know you. And it's yeah, you say about my fitness. If I go to an event, people always come up to me and be like, "Oh, how's the training going? How's the fitness?" Like that's the one thing that they know me for nowadays. It's because I share that journey and people love it because it's a real good talking point and
Yeah,
you
it
stick in
stops
people's
the
minds.
Yeah, sorry to speak over you then. It stops the awkward conversation, doesn't it? That where
Yeah,
you sort of because if you go to an event and you're just talking business, it starts to feel a little bit awkward because you think, "Oh, I don't wanna buy their stuff, but I just wanna talk to them."
yeah,
And you've got something else to talk about when you share the personal aspects. But also you saying it's a word I don't use enough anymore, but becoming the expert.
yeah,
Showing yourself as the expert. We're often too scared to share our expertise because we think, well, if we show somebody else how to do something, then they'll just do it themselves. And I've talked myself out of a client. But
yeah.
it doing that and sharing your expertise actually shows that you know your stuff.
Oh, 100%. And that's one huge thing that I took away from working with you is at the time when I was in your group, I was doing my Asana power hours, if you remember.
Yeah.
And that was because I wasn't really niching in legal at that time. It's like, yeah, and I used Asana and I still use Asana to this day. I absolutely love it. I use it with my team.
Oh,
And I used to do my power hours. But then as that kind of dwindled out and I was getting more into the legal and the Clio work started coming in, it's like, oh yeah, Catherine would say, like, become an expert at this. So I now feel like I've become the Clio expert. So it's kind of led into that. And it's been amazing.
yeah, and you'll be like you say, you'll be known for that as well. We don't want to know that Kelly. Well, we do want to know, but if it's just like, oh, Kelly is great at communicating with professionals, that's really good. But what we want to know is that Kelly works wonderfully with law firms, doing this, that, and the other, and she can recommend this software. She knows it like the back of her hand. And, you're becoming the expert for who you are and what you do. And then there's also that personal element as well.
Yeah.
S- So just jumping back a minute, I don't think we've said what made you want to look at being a VA?
So we were living in Hong Kong before we moved back to Bristol. So when we got back to Bristol, I got a job for an international law firm on a fixed term contract. So it's a 12-month contract covering a maternity leave. And to be honest, I've always worked for sort of smaller firms where you get more involved in everything. Moving into an international firm, there's departments for everything. There's an events team, there's a file opening team, there's a travel team. So it really watered down my role and I found it a little bit boring. I did manage a group of PAs, which I really enjoyed, hence why I love having my team now.
Mm,
Um, but I just felt like I really needed a new challenge. So I was kind of like, what am I going to do? I just really wasn't sure. So I started typing in like PA roles, EA roles. Maybe I wanted to sort of do the EA, sort of stepping up, a bit more responsibility. And I came across virtual assistants.
mm.
And obviously back in 2018, it was still quite a new concept then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I didn't even know what it was. So, did a bit of research. I thought, oh, this looks good. I can work from home. We'd obviously been talking about getting a dog for ages. I thought, if I'm at home, we can get a dog. And I just thought, actually, starting up a business is going to be one massive challenge. And that was it. I was like, I'm going to do this. The seed was planted and I was away. And I'd met this girl actually in Bristol, and she had just set up her own business as a recruiter. And I was just in awe of everything she was telling me. And I was just like, oh, I want to do this. And she was really like a big inspiration for me starting as well. And I'm still friends with her now. And she's actually running she's designing her own clothes. So she's taken a total like 360 turn and doing something different. But yeah, she really inspired me. And yeah, I just knew I was going to make it a success.
You saying that you wanted a dog and you wanted to work from home, and there, it's not always about the bigger house or the bigger car. I got a testimonial from a lovely VA called Ellie, and it was her real happy point was that she can go to bingo with her nan on a Monday.
Oh, it's
You
lovely.
know, and she wouldn't be able to do that if she was employed. You can have anything on your vision board. It doesn't actually take that long to get to where Kellie is now. I mean, Kellie is a massive inspiration. I went on your website, but I do have trouble counting past 5. How many have you got on your team?
Um, so I've actually just, one of my associates just finished last month who was with me from the start, but she's got her own business now. And yeah, so that was a little bit sad losing her. So I'm now 15 associates and
Jesus.
I've got 2 of my own PAs as well. So they work together. Emma's the main VA and then Stacey's the associate that works with Emma, and they both help me with different things. So yeah, they're great. I couldn't do without them now. And it's also been great because me actually using my own PAs and outsourcing my own work is like I'm practicing what I preach. So
Mm,
it helps me with content because I know the experience, and it's helped me to understand what's needed for someone that does want to start outsourcing,
yeah.
because you do have to think about, like, I want to say SOP guides, so standing operating procedure guides, like user guides in sort of what's that word? Layman's terms, yeah,
Yeah.
user guide.
Yeah.
You can't just delegate to VA and expect them to know everything. It does take time. So being able to really assist them in the initial period with things really does help. So putting together a little bit of a sort of training guide, a sort of how-to guide on this and that, and providing them with passwords and that kind of thing has been really, really helpful.
Yeah, and the bit about learning to do what you encourage others to do. So we're constantly as VAs putting posts out going, are you burning yourself out doing everything in your business?
Yeah.
And then you kind of like look at yourself and you think,
Yeah.
"Hang on a minute,
Frazzled.
yeah, I've not slept properly for 3 weeks."
Yeah.
So when I first started to outsource, because I'm a massive control freak, I thought, "Oh God, do I really want to do this?" But I've had my PA now for I don't know how long. Unfortunately, I'm really bad with remembering dates. But Rochelle is my PA, and oh my God, she takes away so much stress. I actually went on holiday for the first time without my laptop, and
Oh,
it's
that's when you know you've made it.
yeah, she's yeah. And the business didn't fall apart either, because that's always the fear, isn't it? You've put so
Yeah.
much into your business that putting it out. But I'm glad you mentioned as well SOPs, standard operating procedures, because I've got those in place for all of my team as well. So I've got
Yeah.
community managers as well, which are superb. And Rochelle, my PA, will update my SOPs every time I sort of send her an email that's got vague information on,
Yeah.
because if anything happens, then everything is there. And any VAs that are listening to this and have got clients, have your clients got SOPs? Because something might happen to you, and you want to quickly pass the work over to an associate while you get better. It's always a good thing to try and upsell to your clients. And maybe I should put something in the VA starter guide, actually, some sort
Yeah.
of template that people could send to potential clients. I think I'll do that. But yeah, it's a great upsell because the SOPs are so important. And it's also, like you said, Kelly, so that your team and your associates can just crack on more than
Yeah.
having to, so you don't have to micromanage, and you don't have to remember everything either, because you're doing a lot as it is.
Yeah, no, SOP, like, coming from a law firm background, you have to have everything documented. That's very process driven. So clients absolutely love an SOP document. They love, like, they're very, what lawyers are like. It's all about, policies, procedures, that kind of thing. So knowing there's like an SOP guide there somewhere, they love that. So, and it's
Yeah.
just so handy if you do have an associate working for a client, if they then have to move on, or, they need to leave, at least the sort of training element of then getting someone else in is halved, because they can pick up that guide and off they go. They're not sort of starting from scratch, and you're not having to train them again from the beginning.
Yeah.
And the clients love having those in place because they can share them amongst their team members as well.
Love
So
it. Yeah,
yeah.
I love that. And I so you started the business in 2018.
Yep.
It took 6 months to kind of find your feet with the marketing and getting your name out there, and feeling you wanted to be the expert in the legal niche to get your first client. And then all of a sudden we've jumped to 17 people on your team,
Yeah.
which including your PAs. So when did you take on your first associate?
Yeah, so we moved back to Devon in 2020. So that year when no one was allowed to go outside and we were all just sat at our computers for like 15 hours a day on Zoom. That
Yeah.
was me. That was me for, like, honestly, I was literally at my desk Monday to Friday, like 8 o'clock till 6, just working. It was just me at this time, beavering away, like, oh my God, I'm getting busier and busier, as all the lawyers were like at home, and lawyers were starting up their own virtual law firms and they needed a PA, and it was just getting busier and busier. So I took on my first associate in January 2021. That was Nicola, who's still with me now, and she's absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And it just kind of grew from there. I had then, I think it was Jackie joined, she's still with me. And then Cheryl, who's just left, she joined me then, but she's obviously grown her own business now and she's gone. But they're all just such good friends as well. We've really, yeah, they're just amazing. I
I
just
love that.
so grateful to all of my team. They are just absolutely brilliant.
So do you still have clients yourself, or
Yes. So I still have two clients. So one of my clients he's been with me 5 years this year. Nicola works with him, and we kind of share the onboarding. So when Nicola's off, because she doesn't work on a Wednesday, I jump in and cover a Wednesday. If she's on holiday, I jump in, sort of thing. And then I've got another client I do sort of dip in and out of, but it's not, it's not to the volume that it used to be, because I was working with a coach maybe 2 years ago, and she was like, if you want to grow your business, you need to start, delegating more and not doing all the client work. And I was like, oh, but I love doing this and I love doing that. And I
yeah,
love doing diary management and I love arranging holidays. And she's like, yeah, but you can't do all that if you if you want to grow your business. So it was really hard to let go of stuff.
yeah, I bet.
But since I have done, it's obviously enabled me to be able to do everything I do now. And I do a lot of the Clio work still. So this is my challenge at the moment, is being able to pass over my Clio projects.
Yeah,
They're kind of just more sort of one-off. The law firm wants me to build their sort of client onboarding process in Clio Grow, for instance. At the minute, I'm the only one who knows the system. I say I'm the only one who knows it, but I know there's others that probably do. I just need to find them. It's just that element of trust as well, of just letting someone manage a whole project. So
Yeah.
I've got a plan. I'm just going to start. I've got someone I'm training up. I'm just going to start giving them bits and pieces. I know it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take a little while, but
Yeah.
yeah. So once I can start sending more of the Clio work out, I can start because I don't even market that work really. I put the odd post out, but Clio send me inquiries. It's all quite just organic,
Yeah, that's
Google
brilliant.
searches.
Becoming the expert in some software that you can monetize is a really cool move. So,
Yeah,
I became a MailChimp partner and a MailerLite partner, and they then help promote you.
yeah,
And yeah, so all of my MailChimp work came via MailChimp. And of course, it's high paying client, people that really do want that support. Um, you mentioned about having to let go of things, and then that enabled your business to grow.
yeah,
And that is such a huge thing. I do say to the new and aspiring VAs, you've got to think about people's pain points to help sell what services you're offering. And I think a lot of business owners who haven't yet outsourced don't realize that it doesn't just give them extra time to do other things in their business that they've perhaps not been able to do. It gives them headspace, breathing space to kind of think, right, this is where I am now. I think I could go a bit further. I think I
yeah.
could do this. Just having that room to expand and even think about expansion is something that a VA can bring to a business as well, because you're giving them, like I said, headspace, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. And I think not all VAs want to grow a team. They're quite happy just, being by themselves, and that's absolutely fine. But if you do, want to grow a team, then you do have to start looking at letting go of clients and perhaps moving them over to associates. So then you've got more time to do the social media and do the marketing, because that's, yourself. It takes a lot of time, doesn't it, to do the social media.
Oh,
That's why I've got a PA to help me, because it's just, and even then, some weeks I just don't do it because I do get a bit busy.
yeah,
So
I bet you do. Because you like your work-life balance as well, and so you should. Now, it's quite unusual for, well, no, maybe not, because I've had a few that have been with me for quite a few years now, but sometimes we get associates that don't stay with us for long at all, and that can make it kind of hard work having to keep, in inverted commas, recruiting.
mm.
Um, but you kind of have found the success with that by the sounds of things. Are there any tips? What do you do to find the right people?
Yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? I mean, initially trying to find legal VAs was quite tricky because there weren't many VAs around in general. So it was quite tricky at the start. But I say now it's definitely easier. I've had some come to me that, oh, Catherine sent me to you. So you
Sorry.
But no, that's absolutely fine. I think the biggest challenge is, like you say, is trying to find associates that it's hard, because for me, I'll look at an associate, and if they've got a really snazzy website and they're all over LinkedIn, I kind of think you look like you want to be really successful, and I'm gonna take you on tomorrow, and you're probably gonna have clients by next month. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I feel like that's happened to me a couple of times. I've onboarded associates and then they've just become really successful, and I've not really worked with them for long. So for me, I think it's usually, I can tell the ones that are just happy to be given the work. They're not very confident, going on LinkedIn. They definitely wouldn't want to do videos. So I think those kind of VAs work really well for me, because I'm quite happy. They just want to be part of a team, and I'm happy to sort of mentor them in a way, and they're happy to stay working with me. And I think that's what's happened. A lot of
Yeah.
them love working with my clients, but they don't want to go. They're just happy staying where they are. So
Yeah.
I guess,
They love the life that, being a VA gives them, but they cannot break down that marketing barrier.
yeah, that's it. And I think, there's being an associate, it's great. You get given the work, and if you've got a good relationship with the lead VA, then it's great. I took some of my team out for afternoon tea last year, and we had a lovely time. And
Oh,
I've got my Slack channel. I do a newsletter. I really try and make them feel like they are part of something. And I think when you are a VA just on your own working, you don't have that, do you? So it is
no.
nice to feel a part of a team. And I always like hope that my team, they do enjoy that part of it, and they know if there's ever any problems. Being the lead VA, I'm always there, and I'm always really open. If you've got any queries, if there's anything with this project that you're not sure on, just please let me know. I always, I don't want to disappoint the clients. I'm always really available to everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that. Now, so I did ask if I could ask a very personal question, and I can't remember whether you said yes or no, so I'm going to ask it anyway. But it's a question that people just want the answer to. I try not to talk about money, but people do want to know because they can see what I'm putting online, they can add things up themselves, but actually hearing it from somebody about how much they're turning over as a virtual assistant is inspiration for them. They
Yeah.
know it's achievable. Now, first of all, Kelly is VAT registered, and you don't need to become VAT registered until you reach 85,000 a year, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Kelly, why did you become VAT registered?
Because I was earning more than 80,000 a year. And, for me, I work with law firms, they're all VAT registered. So it wasn't a scary thing for me, really. I think if you're a VA doing immensely well and you become VAT registered and the clients that you work with aren't VAT registered, it can maybe become a little bit tricky. I don't know. But for me,
So,
it was
wait,
easy.
so hang on, you're earning 80K a year
Yes.
as a VA.
Well, more than that now.
Go on.
So I've just had my last accounts through. So right, so I had a little look at my accounts. So for clarity, before my team, and it was just me. So my accounts for 20 ending 21 was 35,000,
Yeah,
and then
phenomenal.
my most recent accounts for 24 to 25 was 262,000. I know, it's mad. I actually yeah. I don't know. Some days I'm just like, what the hell's going on?
Oh, you are phenomenal. And please, anybody listening to this, Kelly isn't this massively confident person that's got an influencer as a client and she did everything right. She's just she focused, she wanted this. She knew it was possible and she just followed what needed to be done, did it and didn't stop. And
Yeah.
oh God, I am so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm proud of myself. It is amazing. When I honestly, I am just so proud of what I've built. And yeah, and you were just such a huge part of that journey at the start, honestly. And I can't thank you enough for trusting in me to be your associate. Yeah, you've been a huge
Oh,
part of
no.
it.
No, it's just, to even have had the opportunity to have you on my team was lovely. I just felt a connection with you straight away, so it was an honour, and to be a very
Yeah,
tiny bit of your journey and to be able to still be in that circle, in your circle, is just it's lovely. It really is.
yeah.
And I just know you're gonna go from strength to strength. It's absolutely ridiculous what you're earning, Kelly. It's disgusting, to be honest.
I just want to say for any other sort of virtual assistants out there that are listening, so obviously that is a big figure. And for me, if I've got a law firm client, I always see potential with a client. So I've got quite a number of clients that have up to 3 associates working with them. So I've got, there's some of at one point I've had 5 of us working with one client. It's got that busy because
Wow.
I can sort of see, they could really do with help with that. Oh, I'll get so and so into support of that. I look at my team and I can see their strengths, and then I'll put the right people in the right places. So say client onboarding, for instance, if I've got a client that needs help with client onboarding, I'll put probably 2 associates in because lawyers are very demanding and they like knowing the support is there Monday to Friday, sort of 9 to 5. So if I've got 2 associates with one client, they can cover each other. And that's worked so well. And it's just meant that they can turn over the client onboarding a lot quicker and a lot more effectively. And then I might say, oh, they really need help with like a bit of business development. So I put Kat in. And I just kind of, I catch ups with the clients and sort of say, is there anything we can do to help? Is there anything you need? It's just always touching base with them and just finding out what's going on, what projects they've got coming up, and where you might be able to fit in and provide an extra bit of service.
Yeah, I mean the crass word for it is upselling.
Yeah.
But it's even if you've been working with somebody for 6 months, they may not remember or know about all of the other services that you provide. So don't ever be afraid with your I'm not saying this to you, Kelly, obviously I was saying it to the listeners, but don't ever be afraid with your clients to say, do you know what? I've noticed that, I don't know, that your files would be much easier to find if we transferred to this. I can do that for you for £150.
Yeah.
Just saying things like that. So always sell it, in inverted commas, in the way that it's going to help the client. But don't be afraid to upsell. And if you add another service to your repertoire, tell all of your ex-clients, just to let you know, I'm now offering X, Y, and Z, which would be really great for your business because blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think clients just love it when you show a bit of initiative, if you're like really proactive. I know like with my PAs, like they are just on it. Like they can see like, oh, I've done this and I'll go in and it's done. Like they're just always ahead of the game. And that's what I want. And that's what I always tell my team to be with the clients.
I mean, one of my community managers is on holiday this week and I forgot, basically. So I I contacted my PA and I think I said, could you find somebody to cover? And she went, I've already done it.
Yeah,
So,
that's the dream. That's the dream, isn't it?
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
Just to say her name again, Rochelle Banton, she is absolutely fantastic. So a shout out to her. But Kelly, just before we go, I've got something for all the listeners that I have not done before. But if you've not yet invested in the VA Starter Guide, then I've got a special code. It's Kellie20 and you can get £20 off. Yes, £20 off. So it's Kellie, Kellie, and then 20 and get £20 off.
That's lovely.
So
Thank you.
Yeah. So honestly, Kelly, it's been lovely to speak to you, and I am just really glad that you got in touch. And
me too.
And
me too.
No, thank you. It's lovely to speak to you again. Take care, Kelly.
Yeah, and you, Catherine. Speak to you soon. Bye. Bye.
If you're ready to reclaim your independence, then subscribe to this podcast because there is so much I'm going to give you. You've got to subscribe on your favourite channel, it says. What channel? Is it? I ain't going to be on the BBC, am I?